Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Synergy Series Bahrain and Oman edition. Hosted by Media Fusion, this event aims to shed light on the current trends and challenges in these key regions. Our second session will begin now, and it will focus on Bahrain. In Bahrain, higher oil prices and strong investment in infrastructure and 5G services is expected to boost GDP growth by 3.4%. The kingdom is currently prioritizing infrastructure investments and the transition to a greener economy. Our upcoming session will look at how these changes are impacting the built environment of Bahrain. This panel will be moderated by Dr. Habib Jadwa, Head of Facilities Management, DG Jones and Partners. He will lead the discussion and ask the questions to the panelists. So, Dr. Habib, over to you.
Thank you, Namitha, and thank you everyone for being here today. I'm really glad to be discussing this topic, which is the built environment management in Bahrain, alongside the fellow panelists and everyone who will be attending the session. Just a second, I think I have a problem with the video, I'm not sure. Yes, just a quick introduction about me. My name is Ahmed Hussain. Yes, I'm the head of facilities management at DG Jones and Partners. DG Jones are an international construction and environment business. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Ah, all right. Yes.
Hello.
Hi, I think when one person speaks, it would be better if the others mute so that we can hear better.
Okay, I was muted already, but the sound quality was not good. That's why
yeah, I understood. I was just saying generally.
Okay.
Dr. Habib, can you hear us? Are you there? Just give me a...
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Yes, we can continue.
Yes, let's go ahead because there was a little bit of echo. I couldn't hear very well. All right. Yes. So just a brief introduction about myself. My name is Habib Boujaudi. I'm the head of facilities management at DG Jones and Partners. DG Jones are consultants in the real estate business, built environment, and construction. We have offices all around the region, and we've been operating since 1962. I've been personally with DG Jones for around 18 years now. My focus was for the past 10 years on facilities management. I've been exposed to the different project phases during the project life cycle, from inception to completion through to facilities management. But my basic focus in the past 10 years was facilities management. I'd like to get the esteemed panelists to introduce themselves to us before we move on to the discussion. We've got with us Mr. Ahmed. If you can please go ahead and if you can hear us. Yes, Mr. Ahmed.
Yes, please. Mr. Habib, how are you? I think we have worked together in Mall of Delmonia.
Yes, true. We had the opportunity to do work together. True.
Yes, please. My name is Ahmed Hussain. I am a professional facility manager as well as an MEP engineer. I've been working with the Electro Engineering Consulting Office for the last 2 years. And what I'm trying to say that we are our vision and mission in electro engineering to become one of the leading national and future international consultancy firm that can provide at one step all the foremost solutions to the problems of the facility management. So this is just an introduction of my company. As myself, I have been in facility management for the last 28 years. I have dealt with many different, you can say, projects and buildings. I was head of facility management for Nabuda Real Estate for 10 years. I was looking after a very large portfolio. We can say operations, strategic and tactical maintenance works, as well as procurement. So I have a great deal of experience in facility management. I've started with design. I'm going back again to design, as well as facility management, you can say. So this is my background.
Great to have you here, Mr. Ahmed. Ms. Amina is also with us. Please, Ms. Amina, if you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to participate in this panel, first of all. My name is Amina Ahmed Baqi, Head of Facility Management in Oman Property Management Company, which is a subsidiary to Bahrain Real Estate Company known as Idama. A PMP holder and master's holder. We normally have an experience in managing different properties which is owned by Idama and any third parties properties. We do like regular maintenance and have an experience in facilities management and major revitalization project across the properties we have. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Also, Ms. Elvira is with us today. I'm not sure if she's still online or the line dropped. We move on to Ms. Oksana. If you can introduce yourself until Ms. Elvira is back.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be happy to be online today. My name is Oksana Konishevska. I've been in Bahrain for the last now 23 years. 15 years ago, we found and formed Impact Estate. Impact Estate currently specialized in property and facility management. Now it's been 15 years. From 2013, we have done a lot of work for the homeowner associations, including the formation and the management.
Okay, welcome on board. Ms. Elvira, if you can please also introduce yourself before we proceed with the questions.
Yes, of course. Good afternoon. First of all, to thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm working for Royal Ambassador Properties as a property manager in the area of Amouage and Delmunia. Royal Ambassador is a subsidiary of Kohiji Contractors, and we're managing here in Bahrain more than 3,500 units, including Fontana Cities, which is a big brand here in Bahrain. I'm here in Bahrain for the last 5 years, and I'm really glad to be part of this panel to discuss this subject.
Right, we're glad also to have you. All right, so to move on to our session discussion, basically the discussion will be covering or handling 3 main topics. First of all, the facilities and property management business, including building maintenance in Bahrain. And the second topic will be sustainability and energy management practices, in addition to digitalization in the built environment management. So to start with the first topic, which is basically facilities and property management, I'd like to direct my question to Ms. Elvira. The question is, Bahrain's real estate market is on an upward trajectory for the past few years. Has this, in your opinion, led to an increased demand for facilities management or building maintenance services?
Yes, real estate market activity in Bahrain shows gradually an improvement since the beginning of the year as pandemic restrictions have lifted. And we see that the sales has gradually started to pick up. The same we see also in the rentals. We see continuous movement of experts in the region, formation of new companies. We have big developments, master projects. So we see that the market needs high quality services, and digitalization and automation, facility management companies could not be excluded from this trend. Bahrain facility management market is expected to grow during this forecast period of 2022 to 2027. And though Bahrain is relatively small as a region, it offers a very active market for facility management companies. Many large construction projects are either planned or under construction, and these developments are expected to drive the demand for facility management in the country. So we're expecting an increase in the demand for facility management and building maintenance services. We see some big developments in Al Diyar, in Bahrain Bay. We saw the new airport. So we see different developers coming together, joining their forces to give better products at the end to the market. So we believe that facility management companies will gradually, the small companies will gradually emerge, and they will provide even better and better services.
All right, great. And do you see that this demand is coming from the private more than the government sector, or because you mentioned airports? So how do you see the demanding facilities management? Is it more on the residential retail side? How do you see this demand being noticed in Bahrain?
We see it basically on the private sector in cooperation with the government. We see small companies here in Bahrain, small facility management companies, that they could not manage, they cannot manage all this transformation that is happening now in the country. And they're trying to emerge with bigger companies and they're trying to evolve and adjust in this new trend for digitalization, automation, so as to be able to survive in this now competitive market.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure, clear. Speaking of facilities management as a business, I would like to ask Ms. Oksana whether you see that in Bahrain, those stakeholders in the Bahraini environment, built environment management market, do they actually differentiate between building maintenance as a service and facilities management?
That's a very good question. A very good question.
Yes, indeed. Yes. I see that very interesting. Yes, sure.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, many companies and developers and the owners still confused. On the money presentation and the business development, we're having these discussions on the daily basis. However, the owners now are more open to assign the company for professional services. The owner expects better service, cost-saving solutions. So overall, to answer your question, I think they look in like property management rather than separating into facility management and property management. The answer is one, we want our property to be looked after in the best possible way. Standards have grown with regards to the maintenance, but still the main topic is the cost-saving solutions. We have been dealing quite a lot, specifically in the last 2 years, with RERA coming on board. We have been approached by many owners who unfortunately had a bad experience with the building maintenance and been seeking help in setting up and putting the project in the proper state. Again, 2 things, budget, service charges, and of course the upkeep of the property is the key. So working together with the owners, those individual owners, coordinating with RERA, we help them to form and register homeowner association, place the board in place, register the bank account, help them with creating the budget, including the preventive maintenance, and basically keep up the property.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's great. But the focus, as I see, is more on the cost, service charge calculations and the building
Yes.
upkeep. Do you believe there's also focus on other functions of related to the management of facilities, for example, the comfort of people, indoor air quality, for example, health and safety, emergency preparedness. Is this being requested by clients, or is it a focus from the facilities management companies during executing their services?
Absolutely, safety always comes first, right?
Yes, definitely.
goes with no doubt, and that's our first priority. That during the first building inspections, that's exactly what we do. We look at the safety first, then the maintenance, that we analyze the equipment positioning. Unfortunately, most of the buildings we take over, that we see that there is assets are not listed, not depreciated. On the larger properties, we facing mainly maintenance, and the biggest component that is issue is the maintaining the AC. We are in Bahrain, we are in the hot climate, so those are the key.
Yes, definitely, especially the HVAC equipment, which are considered a very critical system. Sure.
Yeah. To add on that, customer service is like a client always come first regardless. So working with the client together, listening to the client, what exactly they're looking for, and providing a customized solution, I think it's the key in the facility management.
Sure, definitely. All right, moving on to the second also related question on procurement of the built environment management services. I would like to direct this question to Ms. Amina. Do you consider that the procurement of the services is developed in Bahrain? You think that you have the proper setup for procuring these services, including availability of consultants and the whole business of the procurement of these services?
So in principle, yes, there is increase in the awareness across the industry in Kingdom of Bahrain. There are many companies have adopted the certain and different facility management services and softwares. So many consultants has adopted the facility services to serve the fields and the other companies we have here in the company. There is an increase in the awareness comparing to the previous years, but I feel like it's moving in the slow pace. So, yeah.
All right. So there is an increase in awareness that they have to procure specialist services, especially for managing facilities. But
exactly.
You believe that it needs to be of a faster pace in terms of what exactly? Just to clarify this point.
Actually, I think the potential and the awareness has to be like, we need to increase and emphasize the importance of the facilities management within the properties, considering that within our culture, there are so many mentalities that are considering that it's waste of money to invest in the facilities management systems or services or consultation. So unfortunately, this is the situation, but there is an improvement, there is an increase in the awareness, but we need to push harder to increase these awarenesses.
Yes, definitely. It's up to us, after all, the specialists in this field, to raise the awareness and the importance of this sector, especially during early project phases as well as during operation, to be able to have a building that is fit for purpose and has optimized operating costs. Sure. And also in my point of view, I see that a lot of clients in Bahrain are becoming to be more appreciating of the involvement of facilities management specialists to actually procure or manage the procurement of the service and run or execute the service. So we'll be hoping that this would be more and more common amongst clients in Bahrain.
I think what also will help is to emphasize on having or thinking of the facility management solution in the early stages of the project, even while designing the project in its earlier stage.
Sure, so that you have all the operation know-how injected during design stage so that you can optimize all the requirements for facilities management later on.
Indeed.
Definitely. This is great. Yes, sure. All right. Again, still discussing the facilities management and building maintenance topic, I'd like to ask Mr. Ahmed, what are the major trends, in your opinion, in the building maintenance in Bahrain at the moment?
I have been, invited to make some assessments for some buildings, the building condition as well as the processes. So unfortunately, mostly I can see corrective and reactive type of maintenance with, very few entities they are considering proactive measures. This is what is going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
yes.
This is, is it because of, the landlords, they don't understand the value of the, having a proper facility management entity to take care of their buildings? Is it because of, I have seen also many of these buildings having a low occupancy rate. Probably they are yielding, less revenue. So the emphasis on planned preventive maintenance is not much, and unfortunately, there are no legislations to enforce PPMs on the landlords. So their buildings are suffering from neglect. I've seen many buildings that have been asked to do the condition reporting and process reporting, assessing their condition. This is what I am seeing. So, but maybe the case is not the same with new projects, like say the mall that we work for. Some clients, they really need to differentiate their service to the others. So they provide a state of an art of a maintenance to look after their buildings and extend the life expectancy of the building. So
it's more on the reactive side rather than being more on the preventive side and being proactive.
Yes, please. With very few consideration for proactive PPMs.
Yeah, and it also, in my opinion, I think it also depends on the client, whether he's an owner occupier and he cares that he's occupying the facility later on. So it's best for him to take care of his facility. Yeah. As a project value and to be able to support the business, not to suffer from loss of productivity and these issues due to lack of maintenance.
I had a case study with one of the my clients. This was for 3 years. I was invited to do a building assessment and system assessment of his facility management. Unfortunately, he was having a very large portfolio with generating a very good income because of the location of the buildings, because of his clients were mostly from US Navy. So he was depending on super watchmen, you can say, doing everything for him. Even his administration stuff, they were substandard. So when I made a report about his buildings, he was shocked to see the condition of the buildings, with concrete spillage, with moisture being affecting the structure of the building and collapsing MAPs and AC. So this is what is going on. You can see also many of the buildings are having a low occupancy rate, so they are not generating that much of revenue. Again, this is with them. Neglect for the maintenance and the services. So the quality of the service drops very badly, and integrity of the building also gets affected.
Yeah, when you have low occupancy and you're having low income from the building, then you will be most probably compromising on maintenance, which should not definitely be the case. Maintenance should be optimized in ways, but not to compromise on that.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmed. We have another question related to the challenges. I would like to ask Ms. Elvira. What do you think are the major challenges with the greatest potential impact on FM in Bahrain? You're muted, Ms. Elvira. If you can please remove the mute, yes.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So I believe digitalization is the biggest challenge and collection of data, and how we are using this data and what is the action we are taking. I will give just one example. The biggest challenge is to adapt fast to the technology. One example is that, for example, we know that in the future drones will be used. We know that it will be used for taxis, for deliveries. We need to make sure that we have the platforms ready for the properties to be able to adapt fast. Another example is the solar energy. Not all properties are ready. I mean, the smaller properties, it depends on the location and the energy direction, so as the buildings to be able to absorb the energy. There are some just very small examples on the difficulty that we're going to face in the future. It's basically the adaptation of the technology and digitalization for me. And the automation, of course, of the processes.
All right. So you see this as a challenge, or actually more an opportunity, but it's not yet being made use of.
Yes, exactly. I mean, now the company started to realize that the market is working towards digitalization. So the construction and the properties and the developers need to understand that they need to focus on this sector, on technology, see how we can be ahead and how we can adapt fast.
All right, great. So we will get into more detail on the digitalization in the business in our next part of the discussion. I'd like to now move on to the sustainability and energy management subject of our discussion. And my question would be to Ms. Oksana. Bahrain has pledged to reach net zero emissions by 2060. So has this emphasis, in your opinion, on sustainability and energy management become stronger recently?
I have been doing some research because I've been trying to find out what exactly happening in the country. It's not only the country not only pledged to reach net zero by 2060. They also committed by 2035 to reduce emission production by 30% through decarbonization and efficiency initiative. They have strategic planning, make Bahrain greener. There is a big plan of doubling the tree coverage in Bahrain, investing in the carbon capture technologies. Bahrain overall, despite that it's a small island, we are green islands. Remember all the flowers and everything seasonal that placed on the street. It makes country not just beautiful, but I think it's a great plan towards better future. Solar panels. Bahrain has opened, it's already fully operational, is the first panel manufacturing. So I guess we are on the right direction.
So this is basically it's towards the greener environment, or greener streets and spaces, and the introduction of the sustainability measures, such as energy efficient solutions, including solar panels.
Absolutely, I think solar panels. I totally agree with Elvira. It's the key. We already have several clients that have invested and they have started using. On the moment we validating the data and trying to analyze how much money does it save, is it worth investing, how many years you need to recover the cost, how much back you can get from the government. I think EVA charges has grown. It's not a secret. All our bills not just doubled, they tripled in the last couple of years. So we're really looking forward, but because it's still initial stage really, and the moment we just analyzing what we have and trying to plan it accordingly based on the experience that we are gaining.
Yes, another part of that question related to energy management. as part of your operations. But do you think that companies are taking initiatives to manage energy, or manage at least what they have, trying to reduce the consumption of their equipment and the facilities, rather than just also only finding renewable energy sources? Do you think there is an initiative in this direction?
Absolutely, and has been growing on basically every year. Impact State today manage 44 projects across Bahrain, residential and commercial. We are managing the first smart residential building, which is located on Amwaj. And we have, for the last 2 years, we have been looking at the numbers, what is a smart technology, what is the advantage of it, and how can it help us? A smart BMS system. We're all using BMS system, but the smart BMS system, it's taking us to the step higher. What we have found out by utilizing the new technology, especially on the smart building technology, it's not only a beautiful comfort for all the clients that are living in, it's a 30% cost saving solution on the EVA charges. It's not mainly the electricity. We are looking, basically the biggest number come from AC saving utilization. Smart BMS system allows to set up AC controls panel for the saving mode. The system recognizes when you're going out of the apartment, for example, and reduces utilization to the time and temperature that you set up. Of course, you have to still do the setting in advance. The beauty of it, you can monitor everything simply from your mobile. You don't have to be in the house to switch off or switch on or control or to see what's going on. I also agree with Mr. Ahmed. He mentioned a very good point. On the newer properties, it's easier, it's better. Newer properties, bigger. The new developers are more open for the idea to come up with innovations, using the innovations, educate the tenants. On the older properties, the challenges.
Yes, especially the properties that do not have any building management system. But I was thinking, you're talking about the smart BMS. Is it one system that is installed that is actually a smart BMS? Or, for example, if we take older buildings that do have a BMS, and we can actually make them smarter, because I'm aware of software like data analytics and fall detection diagnostics that can be installed on top of a BMS to make it smarter while processing data. So if you can tell us more on the smart BMS systems, what they really are.
We're just a user of it, so I don't think I'm qualified to that point to give you more technical information. But we have been using in the building, and we have a specific technical team to oversee the control of each apartment, the building that we are managing around 70 apartments. So the receptionist is trained basically how to look after it. We have been talking to the developer because the owner of the building is actually, he mainly into the technology. So his building is basically the first introductory to the market. We have been asking questions, can we do it in the older properties? They said yes, but we have not tested that yet.
Yes, sure, because it's still something that is very new, to the market. Yes, sure. Speaking of sustainability, I would like to ask Ms. Amina if, in her opinion, are companies changing their mode of operations to support the sustainability initiatives that Ms. Oksana was talking about?
Absolutely, I agree with Ms. Oksana. And while managing different properties, it all depends on the management and the client's mentality and directions. So there are certain clients, they support you with whatever you are going to propose for reducing the emission of carbon. And there are certain clients, they don't want to waste their monies. Still, we have that mentality that they don't have the faith in the outcomes of these renewable systems. So, but there are like wide awareness, let's say, across all the people within the field, that they want to have like the cost saving and the green solutions, let's say, within their properties, changing the appliances, changing the accessories, which they will save energy from it. So I do agree, even if it is a small, let's say, actions from certain clients, but there are clients who took these renewable energies into consideration and have executed.
Okay, so you mean clients as the developers or owners of buildings? Yeah, they're
exactly.
they're taking the step forward towards more sustainable solutions.
Yes.
And what about from the other side, the facilities management companies? Do you think they're doing any modifications in their operations to support sustainable development?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There are certain initiatives I can see between the different properties we are managing. There are initiatives, there are certain strategies we can put. And as Mr. Ahmed said earlier, it's easier to do for the new projects than the projects which are under operations.
When you have new buildings with newer systems, it's definitely
exactly.
Always easier to implement the sustainability measures. All right, thank you, Ms. Amina. So to move on from sustainability to the digitalization matters related to facilities and property management.
Can I just add something about the sustainability?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, please. In general, the Bahrain municipality, the permits for the works, they are emphasizing on designing of better U values, selecting, suitable building material, advising installation of more efficient power consuming AC equipment, say variable refrigerant flow, you can say equipment, because the ACs are, the main culprit. 60% of the electricity is being consumed by air conditioning. 60%, it's a very big, percentage. Yeah, so, sure. In addition to, utilizing the solar water heaters, solar boundary walls, light fittings, so it is there. The initiative, it's there. Plus, the government of Bahrain, and since a few years under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Hamad, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister, assisted by Mr. Hussain Abdul Hussain Mirza as a minister, encouraged and carried out many renewable resources projects. Mainly speaking, solar power generating systems, starting with a small pilot projects of 5 megawatt and 10 megawatt. And recently they have floated one tender. It's about for a 72 to 100 megawatt solar system in south of Bahrain for Sakhir, which is
not a small project, definitely 100 megawatts.
This is a very large project. It's going to feed the Bahrain circuit, the new education center, which is being constructed, and part of it for the University of Bahrain. So, and there are many entities, semi-governmental entities like Beit al-Quran. About now, like 70% of their power supply is on solar. It's a big achievement. King Hamad Hospital. So Babco, Alba, almost, the big companies, they have started with the car parks, which, it contributes only to a 5% of their load. And they got ambitious, and, they have started for other buildings as well. So there is a movement towards, zero emission. Having a better buildings with the U value to reduce the power consumption. Us as a consultant, we know that VRFs, they can save you like 20 to 40% of power supply. So we really emphasize and encourage our customers to go for such a system. So there are many things, many people, they have, they have contributed for having sustainable, because at the end, the carbon print and the carbon emission is affecting everybody. It is affecting our country. It is affecting globally. We can see the global changes which is going on in the world. It is all because of carbon emission.
Sure.
And unfortunately, buildings are the main culprit for of the carbon print.
And it's good we're seeing initiatives on the energy efficiency as well as the renewable energy solutions going in parallel, which is helping.
Yes, and unfortunately, the project that we worked together for a few years, they were, the study was like in 2014. For some reason, they have gone for chilled water-cooled system. It was not only not good for the power consumption, it was even bad for water supply consumption, because the water which was cooling the cooling towers, because of evaporation, there was a big loss of quantities of water there.
Yeah, so you have to take into consideration all the factors, whether it's consumption of electricity, water, and the energy efficiency of the system. Sure, definitely.
The pressure on the resources, the non-renewable resources, like say water. Say for example, most of our water in the country, it comes from desalination units. So it has to be looking into all aspects of it: power, water.
Sure, definitely. All right, Mr. Ahmed, let's continue with you on the digitalization topic. How are FM and property management companies, in your opinion, using digitalization to improve end user services, given your experience in facilities management and the maintenance sector in general?
Speaking about FM and PM, property management, it will help making life much easier, provided the end user understand how to utilize and utilize the processes and procedures manually in the first place.
So you believe there is any digitalization efforts, like going into software solutions, more efficient operation?
The digitalization that you can see is a computer station. It's not the software. It's not the computer-aided software, CAFAM, which very few, I can see very few owners, very few stakeholders, they are having it or they are investing, because of the challenge of investing in the system itself, the hardware and the software, maintenance of the software as well as the hardware, obtaining the manpower, the resources, training them. It's a big challenge for them.
Yeah, so again, we're seeing this movement towards the digitalization. However, as Ms. Amina was saying regarding the other subjects, it's a bit on the slow pace. However, we are looking at it we're hopeful that this would pick up, because we're seeing a lot of clients that are actually appreciating the getting into the digital world of facilities management. So this would also help in getting things moving faster. So I would like to ask the next question to Ms. Elvira, focusing on digitalization. What do you think are the trends and strategic opportunities for the evolution of FM and PM in the coming years in Bahrain?
The trend is clearly towards technology, because it offers strategic solutions for the companies that want to reduce costs and improve productivity in the management and maintenance of properties and services. It's part of our everyday life, and as buildings and services started to go digital, facility management companies became key players in changing the way we relate to the environment. So optimizing the maintenance, conservation, and durability of facilities in organization has become a main objective for many companies here in Bahrain. According to studies, facility management is a sector that generally it will worth $1.9 trillion worldwide until 2024, which is 6% more than it was in 2018. So for the property management sector, digitalization will give the strategic opportunity for better collection of data, stronger resource management, data-driven customer insights, better customer experience, which is very important. Generally, it will encourage the digital culture. It will, of course, it will lead to increased profits, increase agility, and also improve the productivity of the facility management companies.
Yes, definitely. I do agree on the point of productivity, because this is definitely something very much monitored through, as Mr. Ahmed said, the computer-aided facilities management software, where you get to monitor all your manpower resources,
100%.
they're doing, and everything regarding that, including also monitoring the asset conditions, the actions taken on these assets. Which will also help in producing useful reports for the management and the operations.
Yes, correct.
They will have useful insight into their condition of the buildings and what's happening there. Moving on to the challenges, I'd like to ask Ms. Amina, are companies facing any challenges when it comes to digitalization and sustainability, in your opinion, in Bahrain?
From my point of view, I think there are two main challenges which we are facing within the industry. First thing is the budget availability, okay, and second thing is the culture and mentality. As for the budget availability, for example, for digitalization, it will be always easier to go with something integrated in-house instead of paying for a proper facility management system. Mm-hmm. Okay. For sustainability, for example, personally, I have faced that where there is a big surface property where we can have proper renewable energy for energizing the facilities within that property, and instead of letting the services and amenities operating and energized through generators. But actually there was no faith in the outcomes and the potential and return of the renewable energy. So I believe those are the two main challenges, especially when you are dealing with I would say old school mentalities, or someone who doesn't have the faith in the return of certain software or certain technology.
Okay, and you mentioned that there's an in-house development of digitalization done by clients. You mean they are producing their own bespoke software to manage the facilities?
Not necessarily a proper software, but like even if it is something manual to be entered within a sheet or data hub, to have all the requests entered there instead of having a proper facility management software. So anything that it can help them to just finish the work, not necessarily whether it will enhance the flow, it will enhance the communication or the operations of the team and the properties in general.
All right. And do you think we're able, as an industry professionals, to change the client view regarding the AC digitalization or the software, so that they can know more the value of that, so that they purchase these softwares or they use them on their facilities, because they are convinced then that they actually increase productivity, they streamline the operations, and they are.
I believe we as practitioners within the facilities management industry, we have to keep pushing. At any time, they will change, the clients or the other users will change their mind. and one day they will see the benefits from these technologies. So we need to keep pushing. We don't need to give up. We need to have our faith in place and pushing for the right technology and the right renewable system continuously. So I believe one day we'll have it in a place everywhere in Bahrain, inshallah.
Yeah, hopefully, and especially that there's a lot of opportunity in technology, as Ms. Elvira said, that she's looking at drones, so
Yes.
you can find it's not too soft.
It will be reality. It will be reality.
It will, inshallah, it will one day.
All right, moving on to the last question regarding digitalization, I would like to ask.
Can I just add on this last part, you know, the
chat? Ahmed, go ahead.
Yes,
it's always very valuable to have your insight into that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm saying yes, of course, there are challenges. It requires heavy investment, establishment of suitable resources and manpower to operate, selection of user-friendly software, CAFAM, understanding and carefully analyzing the system, so that your staff will be familiar with it and they will love it. The best thing is to have a user-friendly where they can use it efficiently in future. It's not because I came across many even expensive CAFAM system because the staff, they were not trained well, or they were not being introduced well to the system. They were hating to use it, though the system was fine. So the selection is very important to select.
Yeah, sure.
It pays back, it pays back.
Definitely does.
In the beginnings, it is expensive. It is, it requires many things, but at the end, whenever you get all the data, all the information about your properties, you can well maintain the property. You can have a good history about what is happening, what you have replaced before 5 or 10 years, what has depreciated. You can make a good decision about any piece of equipment in your property. So it should be there, I understand there is a resistance from many end users, and because of the cost, because of difficulty of establishing the system, but it pays for it. The payback is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, for sure. During the operation phase, when you do such an investment in the digital solutions. Ms. Elvira, I'd like to ask you also another question on digitalization. How, in your opinion, is digitalization and automation changing the property industry, especially in Bahrain?
I will speak basically from the property management point of view. Digitalization and automation, we see now it's not a choice. It is a necessity in order to increase productivity and streamline the organization's processes. In the property industry, transformation represents a realignment or investment in new technology, optimizing work processes and customer engagement, we're still boosting efficiency to meet market demands. And this is essential for companies to continue to compete. So digitalization and automation in our industry is seen as the core enhancing customer experience and providing organizations with a competitive edge over the competitors. And this fundamental change of mindset, focusing on customer as well as operations and IT improvements and developments, can generate uplift in customer satisfaction, which it will lead gradually, of course, to the increase of the profits of a company. So there are many, of course, advantages from this transformation towards the technology and digitalization. Of course, we improve the collaboration, we manage deeper the customer insights, we collect easily data. we make data-driven decisions easily. Of course, we reduce the cost of operations. We create new business models, products, opportunities. We maintain our company and our business ahead in the market with this way. So it is extremely important for us as property management.
Plenty of opportunity due to introducing digitalization. As I understand from what you're saying, eventually, if we need to remain competitive, we will have to consider the digitalization seriously.
Yes, 100%. And we focus basically in hospitality, in our hospitality sector. We don't see the property just as a project. It is a service. The people who are coming and they're staying with us, we provide them a service, except from the high-end property and the finishing and the nice furniture and all this. It is basically the services. We collect data to see what are the clients want, what are the hidden inquiries that they do not express, what are their needs, their families, we see the demographics, we collect them, and based on that, we create new products, new services. And this, of course, keeps us to the top in the market.
Right. Yes. Sure. Great. Basically, we're done with the questions. I'm not sure if any one of you would like to add anything before we conclude the discussion.
May I?
Yes, please go ahead, Ms. Oksana. Yes,
Thank you. I really would like to add to utilization of the software. Yeah. We have a very, I believe, success story to share, so I will be very quick. We have started using the software in 2013. I believe in the cloud base with a backup in the house. Currently, our clients, remember we briefly touch on the budget. So how do we build the budget? How we educate the client? Educating client is the biggest challenge, I must say. We all know that. Yeah. So the system simply allow you to put the budget on the beginning of the financial year and monitor on the monthly, daily, and weekly basis. The client controls which report does he want for which period. And they can compare the approved budget versus actual. With regards to the maintenance, the tenant now is sending us requests through the software simply by doing the photographs, streamlining the process. Property manager see the request online, manager can monitor if the job done on time. The system allows to collect the data, as Elvira have pointed out, and analyze it quickly. Our software is everything available on the mobile. Clients now traveling, clients not sitting in the house or in the office. The lifestyle have changed over the last few years. So whether you travel or anywhere you are, you can, if you're the owner of the property, you can see straight away if your apartment is rented, you receive notification, you can see your revenue, you can see your expense. You can even analyze the maintenance expenditure on each unit. So if, for example, I see breakdown in the same apartment and I see number 3 in the bedroom number 3 on the monthly basis, so obviously it's sending an alarm to fix the problem. And so technology definitely is the key. I believe we have been successful in obtaining the new projects and gaining the trust from our clients in assigning us to manage their projects, mainly because of the software. Showing them the reports they can see and how much we can save the money by using the right data and analyzing constantly help a lot. And usually clients stay with us.
This is the most important part of it, that you show the clients how the added value of the software. And if they're investing at the beginning, this is not actually wasted money, but it's savings throughout the project lifecycle. Sure. Thank you for that, Ms. Oksana. This was very convincing, and I'm sure we're heading into the right direction. I believe our session time is up, and the session should be probably concluded with Namitha still with us, I believe.
Yeah, Habib, I'll take over from
yes.
here. So a big thank you to all our panelists. It was indeed an insightful session. Both our panels will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and our attendees can listen to it, as per their convenience. Once again, thank you. Before I leave, I would like to say a big thanks to our attendees, and that's me signing off. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.